Good morning. This one's a difficult one this morning, so if you don't want to hear it, it's okay. But for whatever reason, they wanted me to go live this morning and share some experiences that I've had since a child. But first, I'm going to breathe. Coffee chat. This is not an airy-fairy one to talk about. And if it's only me that needs to talk about this and get it out, then so be it. But for whatever reason, this morning, it's in my solar plexus down here, and it's just like, I don't really want to talk about it. So anyway, but first, breathe with me. Setting protocols. Shut that the archangel's love and light. He's willing to cleanse me of my aura. Tapping into God's first energy in the great I am. Ota eti ishisha, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. I ask for protocols to be set as far as the east is from the west, north, and south. Purati, I pray and set the intention that this bubble does not go out, that it stays right here. But if you need to hear this story and hear this, for whatever reason they want me to go on, sorry I haven't curled my hair. Sorry, just a little bit of makeup. It's colder and shit here this morning. I'm just breathing. Oh my God. You know, lots of times you see different things about, embrace your dark side. Embrace, love on your dark side, right? Love on your dark side. I don't want to love my dark side. I want my dark side totally eradicated and get the fuck out of my life. I want to be a vessel of pure light, pure love, pure glory from God's source energy. But this is what happened in my life. So as a small child, probably like under the age of 5, I would be woken up and I would have fairies and all these little beings all over my body, and I'd just lay there and watch them. And there were like little gnomes and fairies, and then there was like a nurse, and I would watch these little people just playing, and they would talk to me as a small child. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so, I didn't understand it. And if I would tell my parents about it, of course they didn't understand it. And then one night, I was laying in bed. I was woken up. I was in a twin bed now and not in the crib. And you know how the old blinds would come down and the street light was out and you could see, you could see shadows. So I was in the twin bed and you could see the light from the window on the floor in between the twin beds of where my sister and I slept. When I looked over on the floor, there was this shadow holding a knife. Scared the holy bejesus out of me. Tried to once again tell my parents about what I experienced and what happened, and they were like, it was, it's just all in your head, my dad would say, or it's just, it was a dream, it was a nightmare, go get dressed and go get ready for school. So as a small child, I know, I was afraid, like terrorized, ever since a very young age, and not only just of the natural things that were taking place from like an alcoholic, aggressive father, but of the spiritual stuff that I was seeing that just literally scared the crap out of me. And being a young child, I didn't know how to deal with that stuff, right? I didn't know how to enact protocols. I didn't even know to call upon God's source energy or my guardian angels. I was just a small child going through these experiences. Kleenex, cold, nose running. So anyway, I don't even know why I'm telling you all this, but for whatever reason, I have to share this information. So, growing up, so there was like this reoccurring theme of a dark figure going after me, this kind of thing. So let's fast forward years. So I am in England with my parents. We are in a hotel about 7 stories up. There was scaffolding on the outside of the building, and my parents had a room next to where my sister and I were, tall, very tall. It was an older hotel, I think it was about 7, 8, I don't know, maybe 10 floors, and we were on the 7th floor. So anyway, there was scaffolding outside. I'm in my room, twin-size bed up against this wall, okay? On the end of the bed is this huge window, and there was no air conditioning in this hotel. It was back in the 80s. And it was a wind-up window, right, to let the air in. So I went to bed early for whatever reason, went to sleep in my t-shirt and shorts. So anyway, I'm woken up, and you could see the light coming in through the window across the room on this door. When I woke up, there was a man's shadow standing in the window. And I'm like, what am I supposed, I'm like, oh my God, think, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? The window's open, there's no screen. All he had to do was step in the window and come into the room. So, and I had a good bit of distance to run from the bed to the front, to the door to the hotel. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, wait, I packed like 3-pound weights. I'm sitting there breathing, and I'm trying not to make too much noise to alert the man standing in the window that I'm awake. How do I get out of the room? How do I get out of the room without him coming in and attacking me? What am I going to do? So I'm sitting there breathing. I'm trying to think, do I grab the weight? And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to run for it. I'm going to run for it. And so I took a breath and I counted to myself, 1, 2, 3. I jumped up. I pushed the window as hard as I could, ran to the door, unlocked it, ran next door to my parents. They're watching TV. It's loud. My sister's in the room with them watching TV. I am pounding on the door as hard as I can, right? My dad, they opened up the door, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, there's a man outside my window. And so my dad goes out his window out onto the scaffolding. We're in London. It's a hotel. We're 7 stories up. My dad is chasing this man up the scaffolding to the top of the hotel. And as my dad runs, climbs out the window, he's like, call the police. And my sister's like, we're in England, Dad. They're called bobbies. So I call the front desk, the bobbies come up, they run through the room, they go out to the scaffolding, they follow my dad up. The guy had already apparently got off the roof. They found an ID, some kind of driver's license, and so we were told that there were a lot of break-ins at the hotel. So yeah, I was woken up with a man standing in my window with the shadow in light on the door. There's a lot of connections here especially with what I just shared as being a child and waking up, happened to just look over at the floor. I see a dark figure holding a knife. Now, did anybody break in the house that night? No. But there was darkness following after me from a small child. Did I have gifting at that age? Yes. Could I see into the spirit realm? Yes. Did I understand what I was saying? No. So, and then let's fast forward. Then a few years later, I had won a singing contest, and I was in the USO, won an American Collegiate Talent Showcase singing contest in college. We were out at USC. Mary Hart from Entertainment Tonight was the MC. I mean, there were a lot of people there. You try to get signed with a contract with, anyway, didn't matter. Bullshit. So anyway, my sister, so once again, my sister and I are in a hotel room. This time, 2 queen-size beds. She's out. I'm alone. There's a light from the bathroom. This time, I am woken up, and there is a it doesn't matter what color, but anyway, he was a black gentleman. He is standing in the middle of my room. I'm woken up, and there's this man standing in the middle of my room. And this anger came at him, and I said, I just sat up in my bed. I'm like, excuse me, sir, may I help you? And he was like, I think I'm in the wrong room. And I said, indeed, yes, you are in the wrong room, right? So he leaves. I lock the door, pardon me. I lock the door, call the hotel security. They come up, then I am informed that at that time, apparently with the cards, that apparently every fourth card opened up a room. Whatever the code, it didn't matter. But anyway, I'm like, how can someone just enter into my room? I mean, it's supposed to be secure, right? It's supposed to be secure. So anyway, so there's a full hands on deck this morning. Grandmother's here, the tribal women, Archangel Michael is here. This blighted being that has been showing up, hello. They haven't given me their name yet. So let's see if there were any other circumstances or anything that I was supposed to talk about this. So then anyway, then years later, fast forward, I was once again afraid, and for whatever reason, I'd reached out to this psychic when I was down in Tampa. And, there was like this reoccurring fear of being chased, of the shadows and the dark energy chasing after me, having an upset stomach, and had to take medication from the most young age that I could possibly think of for stomach upset. I didn't know my stomach growing up as a child, I was in turmoil. Oh my God, I had terrible stomach upsets. Anyway, so I go to this psychic, Pamela Latour. And I was telling her about all of these things that were happening, this like a reoccurring theme in my life. And she had said that, so she tapped into the energy and she said, oh, there is this dark being that loves you. I was like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, she's like, do I have permission to get rid of it? And I'm like, yes, and hell yes, immediately, please. So apparently there was this dark entity that she said, that was from out there at that time in space, or out there in the realms of light and darkness, that really, really, and she said it's weird because it's like it's in love with you, and it wants to be a part of your life. And I'm like, this is so fucked up. This is, I'm like, no. And I was just like, so is that what appeared to me as a small child, instilling fear into a child under the age of 5 with a shadow holding, I'm talking like a knife from like a horror story, And I'm like, I think about that, and then I think about the man standing in the window in England, and then the gentleman that was in my hotel room when I was in my early 20s at a college, out in college. So anyway, for whatever reason, I was to get up and talk about this morning. As a light worker, can we embrace our darkness? Yes. Can we make friends with ourselves as we are going through the dark night of the soul, the dark things that are aspects of our personality, and things that, whether we don't have patience or we get triggered easily. Yes, can we be loving and graceful and towards ourselves as we're working through those things? Yes, we can. But I'm talking about supernatural energy that is out there in the realms of light and dark. I'm a child of the Most High God. to do this work, yeah, it's all light, man. It's all light. It's all light. The vase, the beautiful vase that is in the center of my own being, is at the cry of my heart to be filled up constantly with the oil of Gilead, with the oil of joy, that flows from heaven's throne into the innermost being of who I am, who Morningstar is. Yes. But I had to deal with darkness from the early ages of my life. I'm feeling better now than when I started this. I didn't quite know why they even wanted me to share this morning. Maybe it's a helpful thing to you. I don't know why I had to share this morning. It's all okay. I love you. I love me. I love the river that flows from heaven's throne. I love the sparkling starred energy out of that water that brings refreshing, that can flood over the top of my head, through my body, down my feet, and resonate and be a being full of light, full of wonder, full of joy, contentment, righteousness, peace, joy. Asking for prayers over my life, asking for prayers over my family, my children, my partner, that we live lives of grace, ease, peace, abundance in every area. So if you too have had similar experiences, I pray for you. I pray that all is well in your life. I pray that you can start to take deeper breaths. That sometimes when anxiety, when things come to take our breath and fear, and we just can't take that deeper breath. Well, I pray for you that you're able to open up the gallows, open up and take those deep breaths into your innermost being, deep into your innermost being, and resonate. And if you want to just breathe with me right now, just breathe. All is okay. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter. Okay, now they want me to take a sip of coffee real quick. It's like coffee time. My full grid is over there. Crossroad energy is here. Archangel Michael, full deck on course this morning. I don't know why I had to share this, but I did for whatever reason. So be it. And living a life of truth, authenticity, there are things out there that want to destroy us. They want to take us out. In my life, I've had emergency surgeries where I was woken up and told that I had had hours and I would have been dead. I'm still here. I made it through. I got some work to do in this world yet. It's not done. And there are probably those of you out there that have had similar experiences. We've got a high calling. There's a golden light here. We have high callings on our lives. We've got work to do for the kingdom. We do. We're going to face our deep, darkest fears. We're going to face darkness and others that is just going to do a 380 on us, because we won't believe what's being shown to our spiritual eyes and what's being shown to our natural eyes. Take heart. Run this race with eyes of an eagle, raising and rising above all of life's difficulties, all of the darkness that presents itself. Apparently, it wants a lot of attention. Fuckers. Oh gosh, I've been wanting to try to get to this next part, and it keeps kind of lifting. What do I say? If you want me to say it, you need to bring it here now. Just give me a moment, let me sit. Oh, there it is. Okay. In my life, I personally knew that I would be at crossroads, or I'd find myself at crossroads, that my parents were at. And I'd have to make a decision. Am I going to, whether the door was going forward or whether the door was to the left or the right. And I knew that I was at crossroads, that my parents, my natural parents, were at that same crossroad. And apparently they took the wrong direction. Casaletta, tumult in the family, caused a lot of hurt. Man, must be an important thing, because it keeps leaving. Come on, bring it back, guys. Let's go. Let's do it. What is it? So, but let's raise up this energy a bit. Blessings to you out there. Blessings to me. Blessings to my home. Blessings to our families for protection. May the archangels and all of the legions of heaven watch over you, your heart, your life, your pocketbooks. May all of your bills be paid. May your cars be paid off. May you live in safe, wonderful homes lit with God's source energy, and the angels surrounding you with their beautiful wings. Beautiful, beautiful wings. Thank you for being patient as I'm still waiting for this to come in. It's just over there. Oh, gosh, was it that simple? Dear Lord. All right, the crossword, what mixed me up was the crossroads, and so now it is doorways. Every door that was ever opened in darkness, through family lines, through my alcoholic abusive father, through an irreligious spirit, every one of those doors that were opened, I myself would be, not that I had that, but I had to spiritually go back to that exact moment. And as those doors, like even today, I'm walking back through a door, right? I'm walking back through the door of my past, faced with it, looking at it, and now not allowing the fear and the darkness anymore to hinder me, to shut me out, looking at it. It's not that big of a deal, is it? Not now. and it just crumbles like ashes blowing on a wind away. And then you open up the door and stepping into the new, afresh. It's a whole lot of crossing through timelines of family stuff, family history, even ancient history. Repeated patterns that are repeated in family lines. Going a step further, things that we experienced off planet in other lifetimes. So let's open up doors of opportunity. Let's open up doors of grace. Let's open up doors of majesty. Let's open up doors of fruition. And allowing the joy to come and flood our hearts, flood our spirits. It's like a beautiful platter of golden fruit set before us that we can eat and enjoy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, little ones. Don't be afraid. God Source Energy loves you so much. The archangels, the beings off planet from other universes, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, Orion, they got you. You're covered. You're blessed. You are. Please know that from my heart and my innermost being. We're here for a reason. We got work to do. Fun stuff. We don't know what today brings. We don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. We don't know what next week is like. But this present moment right now, the Spirit of the Most High God comes and fills us up, fills up our vase with new anointing, new oil from that river of divine to flood, fill us up, be at peace, be at rest. Anything else? They love you so much. Do you know how special you are? Do you know how special you are? They do. They do. They know your life. They know the hardships. They know the struggles. They've got you. Allow them to love on you, to wrap you in their heavenly arms. Allow the light to come and infiltrate every closet, every area of your innermost being. You'll rise higher. You'll rise faster. Timelines will collapse on your behalf as you allow them to do that, to go into those areas. Turn and face the darkness. Turn and face it in your life. Turn and face it full on. With Archangel Michael shielding you on all sides, giving you the power and the strength and then the vivacity to step through it, close it down, shut it down forever across all timelines from here on out. So your children will not have to go through that. Your natural children and your spiritual children. Our words have power. Our words have authority. I love you. Have a great, awesome day. Morningstar. And peace out.